Tonight, a controversial Indiana wetlands bill is on its way to the governor's desk. Dozens of state organizations are calling on the governor to veto it, citing flooding and environmental concerns. Supporters, they say it will save Hoosiers millions of dollars by curbing overregulation. Fox 55's Drew Fry explains their arguments.
A bill pulling back restrictions on Indiana wetlands is now on its way to the governor's desk. Environmentalists locally and nationwide are concerned.
The National Floodplain Managers Association actually called me yesterday, and they're asking what is going on in Indiana.
Rodney Rankenberger with the Maumee River Basin Commission says he thinks lawmakers got carried away with Indiana Senate Bill 389.
I think this bill was rushed. I would have had much more respect for the process had they brought both parties together, both sides together, and worked out a compromise. Instead, those that were opposed to the bill were immediately put on defense.
State Senator Andy Zay says environmentalists misunderstand the bill's purpose. He says overregulation of wetlands is costing Hoosiers millions of dollars by limiting farming and new housing.
There's real issues surrounding this issue and the impacts that are being screamed and screeched about. No one will ever even notice.
Many of the areas that would lose protection are wetlands like these, which are currently dry and only fill up with water during rainy seasons.
When people hear about wetlands and regulating wetlands, they're thinking about their traditional wetlands. That was never, is never, and will never be a part of this legislation. This was to deal with isolated wetlands, which are a created feature in broken drain tiles and skimming off development.
But Rankenberger says these smaller, isolated wetlands can be more important than they seem, because if water can't soak into one area, it could flood another.
I guess not all wetlands are equal, if you will, but it's all about communicating and figuring out, if I eliminate this little wetland here, is that going to adversely impact this watershed?
Rankenberger expects this bill to pass into law, but he hopes lawmakers will reopen communication in the next legislative session. In Fort Wayne, I'm Drew Fry, Fox 55 News.
Wetlands, they make up roughly 900,000 acres in the state. That bill, it's seen opposition from Democrats, environmental groups, and at least one Republican so far.